Class 11th, Subject Physics, 6th chapter, Mechanical Properties of Solids. Mechanical Properties of Solids. From this chapter, let us see friction in solids. When two solid surfaces are in contact with each other, then the friction will exist between these two surfaces. If there is motion between the two surfaces, or if the two surfaces are at rest, that is there is no any motion between the two surfaces, still there will be friction between these two surfaces. When one solid surface slides over the other, then each surface exerts certain force on each other. These forces are tangential to the surfaces. For example, if we rub our hands one over other, then at that time there will be friction between our two hands when they are rubbed over each other, so as to oppose the motion of the hands. The friction will be present there, and therefore the force acting on each surface is opposite to the direction of the motion between the two surfaces in contact. This force between the two surfaces will be always in the opposite direction to that of motion between the two surfaces, so as to oppose the relative motion between the two surfaces. Now it will prevent, or it will oppose the relative motion between the two surfaces. So friction prevents or opposes the relative motion between two solid surfaces in contact. Then this mechanical force between two solid surfaces in contact with each other and opposing their relative motion is called as frictional force or force of friction. The mechanical force between two solid surfaces in contact with each other and opposing their relative motion is called as frictional force or force of friction, while the property which resists, that is opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact, is called as friction. The property which resists, that is opposes the relative motion between two surfaces in contact, is called as friction, and such type of friction causes dissipation of energy, that is during the friction there will be loss of energy. Now let us see the origin of friction, that is how friction takes place, how it arises. The solid surfaces are having many irregularities, that is up and downs or hills and dales. So solid surfaces are having many irregularities and projections on their surfaces. Now the friction arises due to the interlocking of these irregularities between the two surfaces in contact. So when there is interlocking between the irregularities present on the two surfaces, at that time the friction will take place. According to modern theory, the cause of friction is the force of attraction between the molecules of the surfaces in contact. So the molecules of the surfaces in contact will also give rise to the friction. According to modern theory, that reason is given. Then the force of friction depends upon the nature of substances. The nature of substance will decide the force of friction, as well as it will depend upon the material of the surfaces in contact. So what type of material is used for these two surfaces, it will also decide the friction. And therefore, if both the surfaces in contact are of the same material. If both these surfaces in contact are made up of same material, then the force of attraction, that is force of friction between them, will be called as the cohesive force. The force of attraction between the molecules of that same materials will be called as the cohesive force. So, if the two materials or if the two surfaces in contact are made up of same material, that is for these two surfaces material is the same, then the force of attraction is called as cohesive force, and this cohesive force will be responsible for friction. On the other hand, if the two surfaces in contact are made up of different materials, if the two surfaces are having different materials, then the force of attraction is called as adhesive force. The force of attraction will be called as adhesive force. That means if the material of two surfaces is the same, then force of attraction between its molecules will be called as cohesive force, and if the material of the two surfaces in contact is different, then the force of attraction between its molecules will be called as the adhesive force. Then to decrease the friction, that is to reduce the friction, grease or other lubricants are used between the two surfaces in contact. And now let us see what are the different types of friction. So let us see types of friction. There are in all three types of friction. First one is called static friction, second is kinetic friction, and third is rolling friction. So in this way there are three different types of friction, that is static friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction. So let us see one by one these three types of friction. First one, that is static friction. So if you consider now this static friction, then we can say that static friction, so when two bodies or two surfaces are in contact with each other and one body or one surface is just tending to slide over the other, so there will be no actual sliding between the two surfaces, but in this case the one surface will tend to slide. It is on the way of sliding over the other. At that time the friction between these two surfaces is called as static friction. That means in case of static friction, the two surfaces will be in contact with each other, but there will be no actual sliding motion between the two surfaces, but one surface will tend to slide over the other. Such type of friction is called as static friction. Now the frictional force which balances applied force when the body is static, that is at rest, is called as force of static friction. The frictional force which balances the applied force when the body is static or at rest is called as force of static friction. That is, static friction prevents sliding motion of the body. Now before sliding motion of the body over the other body, the value of this force is maximum and is called as limiting force of friction. So in case of static friction, this force of friction will be maximum before the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact, and such type of force is called as limiting force of friction. Limiting force of friction. And now let us see the laws of static friction. Laws of static friction. In all there are three laws related with this static friction. First law is stated as the limiting force of static friction, that is FL. The limiting force of static friction FL is directly proportional to the normal reaction N between the two surfaces in contact. So when two bodies are in contact with each other, at that time there will be normal reaction exerted by one object on the other, and therefore according to first law of static friction, the limiting force of static friction Fl is directly proportional to the normal reaction N between the surfaces in contact. That is, we can write Fl proportional to N. Removing this proportionality sign, we can write Fl is equal to mu s into N. Fl is equal to mu s into N, where mu s is the constant of proportionality, which is called as coefficient of static friction. Coefficient of static friction, and it will be given as mu s equal to Fl upon N. Mu s equal to Fl upon N. So in this way, the coefficient of static friction is defined as the ratio of limiting force of friction to the normal reaction between the two surfaces in contact. Coefficient of static friction is defined as the ratio of limiting force of friction to the normal reaction between the two surfaces in contact. So this will be the first law of static friction. Second law is stated as the limiting force of friction is independent of the apparent area between the surfaces in contact so long as normal reaction remains the same. Limiting force of friction is independent of the apparent area between the surfaces in contact so long as normal reaction remains the same. Then third law is stated as limiting force of friction depends upon the nature and material of the surfaces in contact. The limiting force of friction depends upon the nature and material of the surfaces in contact. So this will be regarding the static friction. Now let us see the second type, that is kinetic friction. When two surfaces are in contact with each other, and if there is actual relative motion between them, that is one body is sliding over the other. So when there is actual sliding motion of one body over the other, at that time we can say that it is the kinetic friction. So the friction between two surfaces in contact, when one body is actually sliding over the other body, it is called as kinetic friction, or it is also called as dynamic friction. Now the force of friction due to actual sliding motion of that body is called as force of kinetic friction. The frictional force due to the actual sliding motion of the body will be called as the force of kinetic friction. And again, let us see some of the laws of kinetic friction. In all, there are 4 laws of this kinetic friction. Then first one is stated as the force of kinetic friction Fk. The force of kinetic friction Fk is directly proportional to normal reaction N between the two surfaces in contact. The force of kinetic friction Fk is directly proportional to the normal reaction N between the two surfaces in contact, and therefore we can write Fk proportional to N. That is, Fk will be equal to mu k into N, where mu k is constant of proportionality, which is called as the coefficient of kinetic friction. Coefficient of kinetic friction. And hence we can write mu k equal to Fk upon N. Mu k equal to Fk upon N. That is, coefficient of kinetic friction is defined as the ratio of force of kinetic friction to the normal reaction between the two surfaces in contact. Coefficient of kinetic friction is defined as the ratio of force of kinetic friction to the normal reaction between the two surfaces in contact. So this will be regarding the kinetic friction. Now let us see the third one, that is, so first law of this will be stated like this. Then let us see the second law first. Second law, that is, force of kinetic friction is independent of shape and apparent area of the surfaces in contact. Force of kinetic friction is independent of shape and apparent area of the surfaces in contact. Third law will be given as the force of kinetic friction depends upon the nature and material of the surfaces in contact. Force of kinetic friction depends upon the nature and material of the surfaces in contact. And fourth law will be given as the magnitude of force of kinetic friction is independent of relative velocity between the two surfaces in contact. The magnitude of force of kinetic friction is independent of relative velocity between the two surfaces in contact, provided that the relative velocity is neither too large nor too small. So this condition must be valid there, that is, relative velocity is neither too large or too small. At that time, the magnitude of force of kinetic friction is independent of the relative velocity between the two surfaces in contact. And now let us see third type of friction, that is rolling friction. So when two bodies are in contact with each other and one body is rolling over the other, then the friction between them is rolling friction. When two bodies are in contact with each other and one body is rolling over the other, at that time friction between them is called as rolling friction. So if you consider this rolling friction, then it is the friction between two bodies in contact when one body rolls over the other, and the force of friction between the two surfaces when one surface rolls over the other will be called as force of rolling friction. So that will be the force of rolling friction. Now if you compare all these forces, then they are not the same. That is, limiting force of static friction, force of kinetic friction, and force of rolling friction will be different for same pair of substances. For same pair of substances, the force of static friction is greater than the force of kinetic friction, while the force of kinetic friction will be greater than the force of rolling friction. For same pair of substances, that means if the substances are same, then the force of static friction is greater than the force of kinetic friction, and the force of kinetic friction is greater than the force of rolling friction, and therefore we can say that FL is greater than FK and FK is greater than FR. That is, highest force of friction is for static friction and lowest force is the rolling friction, and therefore we can say that when two bodies are rolling over each other, at that time friction between them will be least, that is very small. And therefore in some of the machineries, in order to reduce the friction between their different parts, generally the spherical ball bearings are used. So these bearings are used in order to reduce the friction there. And now let us see some of the advantages of this friction. So let us see the advantages of friction. So friction is necessary in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, friction is very important. It plays very important role in our day-to-day life. So let us see some of the advantages. First one is we can walk due to friction. So we are able to walk on the ground due to the friction between the ground and our feet. Ground and feet. If there is no friction between our feet and the ground, we will be unable to walk on the ground. And therefore, if the ground is slippery, at that time, if it is wet, then at that time the friction gets reduced and we are unable to walk on such slippery ground, and therefore we can walk due to the friction between the ground and feet. So ground and feet will provide the necessary friction in order to walk. Second is, we can hold any object in hand. So we can hold any object in our hand due to the static friction between our hands and that object. Third one is, the brakes of the vehicles work due to the friction. So when the brakes are applied to any vehicle, at that time, due to the friction between the tires of that vehicle and the road, the brakes will be able to stop that vehicle. Similarly, fourth one, climbing on a tree is possible due to friction. So when we climb on the tree, at that time, between the stem of the tree and our feet, there will be friction, and therefore we are able to climb on the tree. So these are some of the advantages of friction. As there are advantages of friction, some of the disadvantages of the friction will be there. So let us see the disadvantages of friction. First one is, friction opposes motion. So we know that the force of friction always acts in the opposite direction to that of motion of the two objects in contact, and therefore friction opposes motion. That is, that object will be made slow due to the friction. Second, friction produces heat as well as noise in different parts of the machines. So in case of machines, if two parts of that machine are in contact with each other and they are in motion, at that time the friction will produce heat energy as well as noise in different parts of that machines. Similarly, if you consider the automobile engines, then automobile engines consume, that is, they will use fuel due to friction. So large quantity of fuel will be consumed or used by the automobile engines if there is friction. So these are some of the disadvantages of this friction. Now we can reduce the friction. It is impossible to remove completely that friction, but we can minimize it, we can reduce it, and therefore let us see some of the methods of reducing friction. So in order to reduce, in order to minimize the friction, these two methods are given here. First one is use of lubricants. So different lubricants or oil or grease will be used in different parts of the machines. So in order to reduce the friction, sometimes lubricants or oil or grease will be used in different parts of the machines. Similarly, second method, use of ball bearings. So we know that if we use the ball bearings, then these ball bearings are spherical in shape, and therefore it will give rise to rolling friction, and already that rolling friction is less as compared with the static friction and the kinetic friction, and therefore use of ball bearings will converts kinetic friction into rolling friction. So when we use the ball bearings, these ball bearings will convert the kinetic friction into rolling friction, and therefore we know that rolling friction will be less as compared with the kinetic friction, and therefore automatically by using the ball bearings the friction will be reduced. So these are some of the methods for reducing friction. So this will be all about the friction in solids.